Leadership has always been one of those issues that everyone's had an opinion on. In conscious business, leadership has very much a distinct look and feel that sets it apart from traditional leadership models. If one looks at traditional leadership, there are very few role models in society that one could actually point to as embodying very strong values and ethics that one would aspire to. Very much the capitalistic business model through the 20th century has led us to a place where now our champions of business have been exposed, particularly through the GFC, in many cases, as being basically either asleep at the wheel of their businesses or having their hands in the till through excessive remuneration packages and bloated pay structures for even when their companies were operating at a loss or weren't performing to even key performance indicators that their boards would respectively nominate for them to perform to. So what we see is a bit of a moral abyss, a bit of an empty vacuum in the sense of how leaders should behave and do engage with their key stakeholders in many of the old economy style command and control businesses. It's very much a narcissistic me sort of approach to business. And this can't continue and is not sustainable, not only for businesses, which typically fail over time under this form of leadership, but also for the communities and for the staff that have to work under regimes where a culture and leaders operate under these empty forms of behaving and where there is a vacuum in terms of the moral constructs of the business. In conscious business, leaders set the moral tone of the business. They embody the key values. In fact, they set the values of the business, and typically the values are then lived by everyone else in the business as through a key neuroscience concept of mirroring and modelling. People see how the leader behaves rather than what they say, and actually start to live according to what is embodied and lived out in front of them. So the call to action for leaders in conscious business is that they must be congruently living their values in every moment, not only in the business, but also in their personal lives. There are countless examples in the last 10 years of business leaders seen to be behaving badly in social settings. And as you see in the new economy, there are many people out there opportunistically with mobile phone cameras and other devices who are looking to catch people behaving badly and out them on Facebook or other social media channels, much to the detriment of those people, and if they're in business, to the business brands. In fact, real business value can be destroyed through the behaviour of its leaders and senior people and the way they conduct themselves, increasingly in the new economy, where their actions come under more and more scrutiny and they're made to be more and more accountable. Just ask the press barons in the UK around how the press behaviour of senior people and senior journalists was finally uncovered in respect to the eavesdropping and phone tapping scandals that haunted News Limited in its unfortunate expose that has led to a serious decline in the business value of that group and stable of newspapers, and has led to actually the demise of several print businesses or print newspapers themselves. So in the future, we will see that businesses can no longer remain aloof from accountability. So the call to action for leaders is that the leadership, in terms of their values, must be strong. It must be aligned to the values and live to the values of that business. And so what we find is that leadership thought pretty much up to now has been about actions. So many leadership training programs are about what to do. And the problem is that when you teach people behavioural techniques, which is very much where leadership is at in the old economy, then really there's only a context to which behavioural actions actually apply. So what we really start to do is teach people how to parrot and monkey certain techniques, ideas, or processes or actions. But we're not teaching them how to go deeper within themselves and live from values. In the conscious business leadership model, we come back to values, those deeply held beliefs, those deeply held values that become the moral compass by which people then, as leaders, are able to make up their minds and situationally adjust and adapt and understand each circumstance placed before them and make the correct decision that aligns to those values and key beliefs of the business. In conscious business, that will mean that we'll see people making decisions that benefit the we, not the me, not the individual, but the wider group. That'll be the wider group of people in the business as well as the communities outside the business. It's an inclusive win-win model. So conscious business leadership is always going to be about values. It's always going to be about how business leaders must start to authentically embrace a stronger set of principles than just the capitalistic ethic of I'm here to serve the shareholders. My only responsibility is to the board. My only responsibility is to making profit for this business. Those old doctrines of the old economy are no longer true in the new economy. That set of behaviours has led us to the abyss by which we are now standing on the edge of. We see the Eurozone and its constant near collapse as it lurches from one crisis to another, with member states going from a sense of covering up issues to then being exposed, to then going in crisis and then needing a bailout, to what we saw in America through the GFC as morally bankrupt conduct on behalf of some of the largest organisations and businesses in corporate America, as overseen and led by their leaders and their boards and executed by the lieutenants and middle-level leaders of the businesses. This is unsustainable. It's cost huge amounts of money. It's created immense suffering, and it has disadvantaged and dislocated many members of those societies as a result. Conscious business is a reaction to this and is an emergence of a sound platform of being and doing, as guided by strong leadership for how we can create a sustainable model of leadership and model of doing business moving forward. I hope to join you there, and Conscious Business Australia are thought leaders and practitioners in guiding leaders in business through our executive coaching model in how to become a conscious business leader. We help you to understand how to develop and embrace the values you need within yourself to take into the business, and how they'll energise the brand and how they'll energise your staff and create its own form of business value, business success, and bottom line profits for the business. Not only that, you'll be seen by others outside the business, typically as expressed through social media, but also traditional media, as being a positive, community-conscious business that everyone would aspire to. So it's a great story, and here at Conscious Business Australia, we are committed to ushering in a new way of doing business with a new generation of leaders. So give us a call or contact us on www.cbau.com.au to find out how you can engage with us in our leadership development programs and our executive coaching programs to create a new level of business leadership in your business. I'm Richard Boyd. Bye for now.